so afraid of losing the client that now we're allowing us to cannibalize our own business as a result of over servicing this particular client. T number 3 is terms, the offer, what you provide. So I'm going to lay this out in an example with this client, and I think this will completely sum up what this one is all about. This particular client, as she was looking at all the different things that were happening inside of the business, she realized one major thing was happening: scope creep. They would have a client that they would have some work with, and they would plan and bill for about 3 hours of work. Their staff would be staffed up and prepared for 3 hours of work. But then, there'd be some communication throughout the project, and the client would say, well, can we just add this little thing, or can we do this, or can we change this? And all of a sudden, you've got 3 hours of work that now takes 10. The team hasn't grown. The client's not being billed for anything differently. So all of a sudden, we have 7 unaccounted for hours that eats away at the profitability, which means we don't have money to staff up properly. We're so afraid of losing the client that now we're allowing us to cannibalize our own business as a result of over servicing this particular client. And this is a result of not knowing where the boundaries are, custom writing every single client agreement, and not knowing how to have the conversation with the clients because we're so fearful that we'll lose them if we let them know that going from 3 hours to 10 hours is a bit more work. And the only way we can sustain that for you is to be able to provide that at a level of service that requires an investment. This was the number that I saw in the financials. Saw revenue was flat, and we saw that 72% of all of her revenue was going to payroll. And it was at its core because of these two things we just talked about.